Hey everybody, my name is Nelson Bauer. I'm the Deputy Fire Marshal in Orange Beach, Alabama. And what I wanted to talk about this week is the door entry traffic flow devices or pedestrian gates that are being installed in our local Walmarts. This is a hot topic as some have been installed without authorities having jurisdiction's knowledge. So I wanted to kind of bring this to the forefront, make this a talking point, and get your thoughts. As you'll see when you go through my video, I'm not drawing any conclusions. I'm just putting the facts out there and seeing how they fall. But I do want you to know that this is an allowable product. Just looking at it, you can accept it. They did a good job of justifying it, and it's just how you want to accept it is the question. Because this isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. So what I accept in Orange Beach may not be what you accept in another part of the state or the country. So anyway, thank you for being with me and look forward to getting into this with you. We'll talk soon. The question this week is going to be, how do we handle the new door entry traffic flow devices being actively installed in our local Walmart stores? This is a really good question, and I'm excited about diving into this one, as it affects quite a few of us. Telge Engineering and Consulting claims that these door entry traffic flow devices, or gates as I call them, are code compliant. You can see these to the right there. This is exactly what they're proposing or just installing in some areas. What they do in the packet that they provide is list 9 areas in which they are code compliant. What I'm going to do is summarize those 9 areas and then we'll dig a little bit deeper. The Telge report stated that you could use the pedestrian gates if all 9 criteria were met. So number 1 was gate must allow unencumbered or unobstructed egress from the facility. Number 2, the egress width shall not be diminished. Number 3, the gate may not be locked. Number 4, the gate could be locked if it was approved by the HJ. Number 5, force to open shall not exceed 5 pounds. And number 6, the gate must open in the direction of egress travel. Moving on to number 7, the gates must be equipped with 1-inch high letters on a durable sign that state in emergency push to open on the egress side. Number 8, the gates may not be applied with signage or other markings that could confuse occupants as they attempt to egress. And number 9, gates must comply with BHMA A156.10. So my next question I want to ask is, how do we as fire code officials approach these gates? That's a good question. Know that a lot of these gates have been installed in the state of Alabama without funneling through the permitting process and without formal approval. That leads us to our answer. Funnel this installation through your local plan review and building permitting process. Once in the plans review process, I'm going to first look at means of egress continuity. Obstructions shall not be placed in the minimum width or required capacity of a means of egress component, except projections permitted by Chapter 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to require that they provide a complete egress evaluation based off occupant load and factor in egress width to ensure that there's no encroachments in the required width. Next, as mentioned in the Telge report, these are power-operated doors, and they state that they will not be locked and would be able to be pushed open from the egress side with 5 pounds of force. So, since they're power-operated, the means of egress doors are operated or assisted by power. The design shall be such that in the event of power failure, the door is capable of being opened manually to permit means of egress travel. Thirdly, if you as the HJ allow them to lock the egress gates from the egress side, then this section on sensor release of electrically locked egress doors is applicable. And they have 6 items that must be met to meet this section. But note that me personally, I wouldn't allow them to lock them, so I'm going to resort back to the power-operated door section. Fourth, I'm going to look at post-mounted objects. When you look at post-mounted objects, the lowest point of the leading edge shall not be more than 27 inches above finished floor. That's important to note because this is important in the means of egress for those that are visually impaired. So keep that in mind, that lowest edge has to be within 27 inches above finished floor, which from the spec sheet that I saw, this complies. Next, I'm going to look at signage. Exit signs shall be installed and maintained in accordance with Section 1013. Decorations, furnishings, equipment, or adjacent signage that impairs the visibility of exit signs, creates confusion, or prevents identification of the exit shall not be allowed. So keep that in mind. We don't need anything hindering egress. These signs were a big deal to me because I feel like they're confusing. Very small at the bottom is an emergency push to open, but very large is oops, wrong way. Please exit through checkout. So I think this is confusing. I think that we could get them to actually change, and this is a revision right here on the right, get them to change the signage so that it is not so confusing. Maybe put their please exit through checkout on another sign. In closing, if we're approached with these, funnel them through a proven process, which is the building permitting process and plans review process. This way, we can draw our best conclusions and ensure that they meet the code requirements as we have them adopted. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you will provide your thoughts and feedback on this topic, as it is a hot topic. I've also attached the Telgen report for your awareness.